NicJFrancis channel, we're back. Match day 17, top of the table, can't complain. Arsenal managed to not quite cruise past Brighton 2-0, but managed to get past them. We were dominating the game all the way through, shot after shot, and we're still lacking a little bit of that clinical edge. We're still lacking we're still lacking goals, but at the end of the day, top of the table after 17 games. And in the top four at the moment, I just finished watching. I saved doing this video till after the Liverpool game because I didn't want to do a video on Arsenal and then have to do another video afterwards because obviously Liverpool versus Manchester United were playing. That game obviously finished 0-0. And Liverpool 1 point behind us at the moment, which is big for us. We go there next week. That's going to be such a massive, massive game. We need to at least get a point from there. We just have to. But first of all, Arsenal against Brighton. Listen, Brighton are a bit of a bogey team. Brighton are a very, very good team. We've been turned over by them before. We all know what they're capable of. Mitoma up against Ben White looked like a difficult match. But listen, we managed to dominate the ball and get chance after chance after chance. And yes, we're still lacking a little bit of that critical edge, a little bit of that real finishing. We're managing to get the ball down to the byline. And then somehow, when we're cutting the ball back, there isn't a real dedicated striker for us to hit there. There's not really a great target man. Gabby Jesus is really, really good. We already know this. Gabby Jesus is so good at the link-up play, but we're losing something in terms of having a target man in the box that can just be an out-and-out finisher. We are losing a little bit. So maybe that's something that can be addressed in January, but who knows? But to go and beat Brighton 2-0, Brighton are a very unpredictable team. We've seen Brighton beat teams in the bit of the top six, big six teams. We've seen Brighton do a lot of on the winning end of shock results. We see it all the time. And like I say, we have been on the receiving end of some of those before. So for us to go and beat Brighton 2-0, listen, I'm very, very happy with that. Kai Havertz with a goal as well. Huge for his confidence. I thought he had a really, really good game, but I think man of the match has to be Declan Rice. I thought Ødegaard was really good as well, but still when he gets the ball in the middle of the box, sometimes just have a shot. We need goals. We have 13 different goal scorers in this team. We need everybody chipping in with goals at any time. Declan Rice had a great opportunity to do it. He drops the shoulder, sends Pascal Gross to the shops, gives him the receipt and says, bring me back my change. And he's gone straight up the wing, galloping forwards and manages to get a shot off. But obviously by then his legs were so done out. He couldn't quite get the finish. But it's really good. And then the second goal from Kai Havertz was really, really well taken. And something that's going to go under the radar as well, an assist for Eddie Nketiah. Really, really good play from him. Driving the ball forwards again, stretching that defensive line, and when he sees the gap, pulls the defender to one side, gives Kai Havertz a ton of space, and threads the ball through for 2-0. And it was Gabby Jesus that opened the goal scoring from a corner at the back post with a header. So I can't complain. There were definitely areas for improvement. I thought Martinelli was good. I thought Ødegaard was very good, but Declan Rice overall has to be the man of the match. Has to be. He just does everything. In that run that I was just talking about, he showed how he can be a number 8, how he can be a very, very good number 8 with the right setup around him. If we had a Thomas Partey or Rodri or someone of that really good quality 6 behind him, and that's going to free Declan Rice up to go on those runs. He can play anywhere across that midfield, and he just looks so impressive. Another man of the match performance today. And then obviously Man United up against Liverpool. Listen, tense game, tough game. They had very similar situation to what we had at Brighton, where they're getting shot after shot after shot. Liverpool, obviously they are massively favoured at Anfield, hadn't lost in like 34 games at Anfield or something crazy. Haven't lost at home for ages. And they still haven't lost because it was a draw. But, we're going there next week and it's going to be tough. But they are getting shot after shot after shot, and United just defending for their lives for the majority of the game. And then that really poor defensive, that really poor refereeing decision at the end to get Dalot sent off. But, going into this game, I think where we can look for a little bit of confidence at Anfield, maybe we'll lose at Anfield, who knows? But Man United have gone there, and it's a poor Man United team, lacking confidence. The goalkeeper's poor, the defence are poor. Amrabat didn't look great today. There's a few players that didn't look great today for Manchester United, but still, Liverpool weren't quite able to get the result. Liverpool, mentality monsters, but struggling a little bit with that mentality. They're still second, so we have to put a lot of respect on their name. They've got the highest goal difference of 21 in the top 4. We're not far behind. Us and Man City have 20, but that game is going to be so crucial. We have to try and look at Liverpool and think, if Liverpool play like that against us, there's going to be some gaps of opportunity for Saka and Martinelli on the counter attack, especially. Martinelli has a good record against Trent Alexander-Arnold, especially as Trent steps into that midfield role. There's going to be opportunities there, but I think that Dalot red card at the end I thought was harsh. The refs giving him 2 yellows Michael Oliver gave him 2 yellows for dissent back to back. Really, really harsh decision. For the Arsenal fans out there, you'll remember Michael Oliver is the same ref that gave 2 yellow cards to Martinelli in the same phase of play and gave him a red card as well. So he's got form for doing this type of thing. But ultimately, 17 games into the league, and I got to say, people were writing Arsenal off, people were writing Liverpool off a little bit, and the two of us are there. We're there, right there with Aston Villa at the top. It's 17 games. We can't really think about the title yet. We're a long way away. Both we know and Liverpool know what this Manchester City team are capable of doing in the last 10 games. And so before we start talking about titles and stuff like that, we have to focus on the next game. We have to focus game by game by game, especially when we still got to go to Anfield. We still got to go to the Etihad. We still got to go to Old Trafford. These are really, really difficult away days for us. And we've got to get through those. And then when it's in the last 5 to 10 games of the season, then we can start looking at league titles and stuff like that. I think it's really going to come down to what we do in January. Do we get players out? I'm hearing talk today that Eddie Nketiah could be on his way out in January, looking at 40 million. Will that go towards funding an Ivan Toney, a Dusan Vlahovic? I don't know. But at the moment, there was talk of Thomas Partey coming back as well. We didn't see Thomas Partey featured. Smith Rowe came off the bench and got a good late strike up against Brighton, but unfortunately, it was saved. We need to get him back firing as well. But we are definitely going in the right direction. Another really good performance from Kai Havertz, physically very, very imposing himself really, really well. Goalkeeper David Raya, lots of talk over him after the mistakes. Distribution really, really good. The throwing as well from the counter attacks really, really good. Overall, I've got to say it was a solid weekend for Arsenal fans. Obviously, Liverpool dropping points and allowing us to go top of the table, and us really putting that pressure on them by taking the 3 points early. And Brighton, a game that people thought would be a bit of a banana skin for us, and ultimately we came out looking very, very comfortable in getting those 3 points. So listen, like I say, really good weekend for Arsenal fans. We can enjoy it for this week, but next week is going to be the big one, and we have to get some sort of point. I don't know when the last time was that we got a point at Anfield in the league. I think we've picked up points there in cup games, in FA Cup or League Cup runs, and we do have them again in the FA Cup, as we always seem to do, but we've got them like 3 times over the next couple months, and so we've got to be taking some points from them. They're going to be a little bit wounded and a little bit frustrated with the way things have gone today. We need to go there next week and try to capitalize on that as much as possible. But I'm over the moon. I'm so tired. It's been a long week, but I'm absolutely over the moon to be top of the table. And we want to be same as last season. We want to try and extend that lead as much as possible. Whatever other teams do, we're not in control of that, but we want to at least give ourselves as much of a lead as possible going into the last 5-10 games of the season. And that's what we're doing by winning game after game after game. Even if it is, not the most comfortable win, even if it's not the prettiest win, we're playing some really, really good football. We're just struggling. Us and Liverpool actually in such similar positions where we're dominating the ball, we're dominating the shots, but just need to get the ball over the line. And that's exactly where Liverpool are as well. So we're in really, really similar positions as teams. And I just have to respect our team for being where we are. Arteta's been here 3.5, 4 years now. And back to back, what looks like, title challenge last season. It looks the same this season. And, so based on that, of course, we need the major trophies. We need that, before we can call ourselves a really big team again. We're competing and that's good, but we need to get over the line and start bringing these trophies to the Emirates. But huge weekend for us. And so we have to keep our bottle. When we go there next week, we have to not bottle it. We have to play our football, focus on what we do, not get roped into spats and fights. And we've seen, Xhaka and Trent last season, I think it was, and different things like that. We have to just keep our head steady. But it's huge. Liverpool dropping points, Man City dropping points, and Arsenal picking up all 3 points as well. So we want to keep seeing that as many times as we can, focus on what we do and just rack up every single point that we can, fight for every single point. When we go to some of these big grounds, we can't leave with nothing. We have to leave Anfield with a point at least, and if we nick a late winner, then we'll take that. But if we come out of Anfield with a point, and I'm putting this out there now before next week, if we come out of Anfield with 1 point, that is a very, very good return for us, regardless of what anybody says, because they don't lose at home. They just don't, That result today is a very good result for Manchester United. Let's be honest, they'll be over the moon with that result, although they won't be over the moon with that red card. But yeah, we'll be over the moon as well. We can't even banter them. We will take a point right there. So listen, that's all I got time for. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Boxing content, football content, all of that is coming back. But for right now, Arsenal are top of the Premier League. Put some respect on our name, like that. Peace.